Hi, today I'm going to talk about the lowest price technically acceptable or LPTA evaluation criteria. They were actually invented for the commodities, for the kinds of things that were easy to buy more inexpensively. And in the last few years, what has happened is that LPTA have been used increasingly to purchase services and complex solutions. So now the government procurement is really going towards the LPTA, and it's used prevalently in the DoD and other arenas. So my name is Olessia Smotrova-Taylor, and I am the president and CEO of OST Global Solutions. We are a firm that does consulting support and training for government contractors, helping them grow their companies and win in the government contracting arena. And recently I have looked at a study by Centurion Research and Market Connections, and it's called LPTA Impact Study, and found some interesting facts that I want to share today with you. The first thing that kind of jumped at me is that a lot of government contractors are responding to LPTA RFPs. There are 82% of them that do, and only 19% are still holding out saying, look, we're not going to sell ourselves for cheap. The reason to respond to the LPTAs is that there are fewer RFPs to bid on. Roughly half of the government contractors cite that they know the customer really well. It's their existing work. They want to retain that good relationship with the client, continue that work, and so it's gone LPTA. Now what do we do? So essentially what they end up doing is just going ahead and responding. Interestingly enough, 79% of them believe that they cannot provide really the value added. There's no opportunity for them to provide the value added, and 56% of them believe they cannot really win based on the lowest price. They believe they're going to be somehow undercut by somebody who is desperate to offer their services at a much lower price. Most interesting piece really in this whole thing that I found is there is a significant disagreement. There's a statistically significant disagreement between what the contractors believe is the nature of the LPTA proposal response and what the government believes. So a lot of contractors really believe that it's a lot simpler to respond to an LPTA proposal. They really don't need to spend as much time brainstorming on a solution. They just have to be compliant, and they just have to offer the lowest price. And about the gap, the delta is literally 20% between what the govies believe and what the contractors believe. And what I personally have found is that a lot of contractors get thrown out. Even though they have the lowest price, they fail to show that they have a technically acceptable proposal. They just do the compliant proposal and they get found to be technically unacceptable, which is really consistent with what this study actually tells. So in the conclusion I really make is that you still have to put some good effort into your proposal development. Now, government contractors are actually coping with LPTA in different ways. So they are trying to adapt and adjust to this new market. The LPTA is not going away, and they essentially do it in different ways. So some of them go into different new markets. They try commercial world and offer the services that diversify their portfolios. Some of them go ahead and change the nature of their services. They know there's still some areas where LPTA is really, really hard to implement. And essentially they are getting into more complex arenas where best value is still the preferred evaluation criteria. They also go ahead and find lowest cost subs where they can outsource some of the more expensive work to companies that can provide it more cheaply on their team. Now, some companies offer less innovation, and sadly, less innovation, considering the nature of what the government does and the kinds of services they provide for our public, it's a sad environment, but it's really responsive to this new budgetary reality. Companies cut their overhead G&A and fringe benefits, trying to offer less to their workers, trying to have less office spaces. People are telecommuting a lot of the time. They also green their workforce, so they're hiring younger people. Sometimes the quality is sacrificed, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they find innovative ways of forming the teams where the younger people are paired up with more experienced people. They reduce their staff, and they also place salary freezes or salary caps on their staff. Now, the piece I wanted to tell you about is the business development. Yes, so lots of companies are actually cutting their BNP, bid and proposal dollars, and they're getting rid of their BD staff in the effort to reduce their overhead. But really smart companies cut in different places, but what they do spend money on is better capture, a better business development, because you can influence whether a procurement goes to lowest price technically acceptable or not. You can actually do a lot during capture. You can either go ahead and prevent LPTA from happening in the first place, or you can go ahead and influence what is technically acceptable. And there are ways to do that. There are lots of ways to do that, and you really should explore how to do that effectively so that you can be more competitive, or you can really shine in the areas that the government finds valuable. So in order to learn how to do that, we have a class that we have put together for government contractors to help you essentially become better in this crucial arena of proposal development, the cost, the price proposal. So the class is titled Developing and Winning Cost Volume, and it covers, among many things, how to win in the LPTA environment and how to shape the procurement to either go to the LPTA with the right technical acceptability criteria, or get rid of that whole pesky LPTA and go best value if you so prefer. I hope you can make it to the class, and stay tuned for more tips for business development. Take care.